Welcome to this video on the golden age of television. We will explore how classic TV shows revolutionized American culture, transformed family life, and created the most powerful medium of the 20th century. This program is brought to you by the Series of Thoughts team for the Nostalgia and Cultural Education. Our story begins with Chapter 1, From Invention to Icon. Television started not in Hollywood, but in the minds of brilliant inventors who dared to imagine transmitting moving pictures through the air in the 1920s. Two pioneers defined early TV: Philo T. Farnsworth, who transmitted the first fully electronic TV image in 1927, and Vladimir Zworykin, who developed the iconoscope camera and kinescope receiver for RCA, helping to commercialize the medium. Television met the world on April 30, 1939, at the New York World's Fair, with the first major public demonstration. While World War II delayed mass adoption, commercial broadcasting truly took hold in the late 1940s. The rise of TV ownership was explosive. In just one decade, television went from a luxury curiosity to the centerpiece of the American living room. By 1960, nearly 9 out of 10 American households owned a set. By the numbers, television experienced meteoric growth. By 1951, 10 million TV sets were sold. The average cost was $200, a major investment at the time. By the mid-1950s, households averaged 4.5 hours of daily viewing. Chapter 2 focuses on the shows that changed everything. The Golden Age, from roughly 1948 to 1960, produced programs that created a shared national experience, uniting the nation around the television screen. I Love Lucy premiered in 1951, starring Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz. It quickly became the most watched show in America, following the hilarious misadventures of Lucy Ricardo and permanently altering the television industry and American culture. Lucy revolutionized TV with the 3-camera technique, which became the standard for sitcoms. It also pioneered the concept of reruns, broke racial barriers by featuring an on-screen interracial marriage, and was the first to incorporate pregnancy into a primetime storyline. The cultural impact of I Love Lucy was massive. At its peak, the show achieved a 68% TV share. The episode Lucy Goes to the Hospital captured a record-shattering 72% peak viewership. More Americans watched Lucy give birth than watched Eisenhower's inauguration. The Honeymooners offered a contrast, focusing on blue-collar America. Starring Jackie Gleason as Ralph Cramden, this show provided a rawer, grittier portrait of working-class life, resonating with millions of viewers. The Honeymooners was revolutionary for its working-class authenticity and complex, realistic characters. Alice was one of television's first strong-willed wives. Its influence is evident in comedies like The Flintstones and All in the Family. Your Show of Shows, airing live from 1950 to 1954, proved that television could be high art. This 90-minute weekly variety spectacular was a comedy laboratory hosted by Sid Caesar, launching an entire generation of performers. The writer's room of Your Show of Shows shaped comedy forever. It included future legends like Mel Brooks, who later created Blazing Saddles, Neil Simon, and Carl Reiner, whose experiences inspired The Dick Van Dyke Show. Sid Caesar was a genius performer, mastering slapstick, satire, and multilingual improvisation. Drawing 60 million weekly viewers, Your Show of Shows proved that TV comedy could be smart and inspired SNL's format decades later. Chapter 3 introduces The Dick Van Dyke Show, Comedy Perfected. Created by Carl Reiner and running from 1961 to 1966, it is considered one of the most perfectly crafted comedies in television history. Dick Van Dyke starred as Rob Petrie, head writer of a fictional TV show. The series balanced his chaotic office life with his witty and affectionate marriage to Laura, played by Mary Tyler Moore, creating a template for future sitcoms. The Dick Van Dyke Show was significant for launching Mary Tyler Moore's career as an intelligent and strong wife. It was also one of the first sitcoms to make the creative writing process a central, entertaining element of the show. Chapter 4 covers how television reshapes the American home. The TV set fundamentally redesigned the living room, replacing the radio and fireplace as the gravitational center of family life. A new domestic ritual was born. TV changed daily life, sparking the TV dinner revolution in 1953. Furniture was redesigned to face the screen, and families organized their evenings around broadcast schedules, creating a powerful, shared national culture. The idealized TV family in shows like Father Knows Best shaped how real families viewed themselves, reinforcing traditional gender roles. However, shows like The Dick Van Dyke Show soon introduced more complexity. Chapter 5 explores television and the consumer revolution. The marriage between television and advertising created the most powerful consumer engine the world had ever seen, transforming American commerce. The advertising explosion was immense. TV ad spending surged from $58 million in 1949 to over $1.5 billion by the end of the decade. The relationship between television content and consumer culture became inseparable. Sponsors often owned entire programs, like the Texaco Star Theater, blurring the lines between content and advertising. Stars delivered personalized commercials mid-show, and television created widespread consumer desire for on-screen lifestyles. Chapter 6 examines television and politics, a new arena. Television fundamentally transformed American politics, allowing voters to see their leaders up close, leading to a new emphasis on image and composure. The 1960 Kennedy-Nixon debate changed everything. Television viewers, seeing a tanned, confident Kennedy and a pale, sweating Nixon, overwhelmingly believed Kennedy won, proving that image could shape political reality. TV's political power grew rapidly. Televised hearings in 1951 and 1954 impacted national figures and crusades. The Kennedy-Nixon debate proved TV could determine elections, and the JFK assassination coverage solidified its role as the nation's primary news source. Chapter 7 is about breaking barriers on the small screen. While early programming was conservative, certain shows and performers began pushing boundaries, slowly expanding who could be seen and heard on television. Pioneers of representation included Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz, with their interracial marriage. Nat King Cole became the first African American to host a national network variety show, though it was canceled due to a lack of sponsors. Television accelerated social change by covering the civil rights movement. When cameras showed the violence against peaceful protesters, these images, broadcast into millions of American homes, exposed uncomfortable truths and amplified the call for justice. Chapter 8 explores the three-network universe. For decades, American television was dominated by NBC, CBS, and ABC. This concentrated media created an extraordinary cultural phenomenon, a shared national experience. NBC, owned by RCA, pioneered color broadcasting. CBS, the Tiffany Network, was known for quality, hosting Lucy and Edward R. Murrow. ABC, the underdog, targeted younger audiences and found success by partnering with Walt Disney. Having only 3 channels fostered cultural cohesion. A hit show became a national event, uniting Americans across geography, class, and background in shared storytelling like never before. Chapter 9 summarizes a lasting legacy. The golden age of television's influence reverberates through every screen we watch today, establishing the creative and commercial DNA of modern media. The innovations live on. The 3-camera sitcom technique, the writer's room culture, and the concept of reruns, which inspired today's binge-watching model, all originated during this time. Television remains a powerful social mirror. The Golden Age created the modern world through creative innovation, cultural transformation, and political power. The way we consume media, elect leaders, and define family were profoundly shaped by those flickering black and white images. From the first electronic image to the cultural juggernaut that united a nation around shared stories, the golden age of television was transformative. The most powerful technology is the one that transmits ideas, emotions, and a sense of belonging.